Welcome back to episode 3 of Interviewing VTubers. And today's guest, I have Onigiri.
Hello. Hello.
Good to have you here.
It's good to be here. I'm excited.
First question, since everybody's going to be asking this question a lot, so I might as well ask this.
Okay.
Did you shower today?
I did. I just came back from an IRL stream of the day before, and I was freaking sweating my pants off. So I was like, no, I can't sleep like this. And I was just like, it'll be inappropriate of me to show up to an interview unshowered, okay? It would be rude. So yes, I did shower. Rejoice, everybody. Yay.
That's good. That's what I'd like to hear.
Off to a good start, yes?
Yes. What is your favorite memory when it comes to streaming or IRL?
What is my favorite moment?
Yeah, moment.
Honestly, I don't think I have a really grandeur answer for that. I just kind of enjoy going around, walking around, showing everybody parts of like my new place of home, basically. And it's always really fun to just kind of discover things together. And it could be like the streamer mindset or whatever, but I feel like sometimes it's just more fun when you can share that experience and you can have that, like, what is it called, authentic reaction with a bunch of people versus just going like, oh my god, there's this thing here, but it's just like you by yourself, versus like other people can also share in that excitement. So I feel like just being able to like have that kind of feeling is it's really fun. It just makes exploring the city really fun, more so than just going around myself. And I don't know, it gives me a good excuse to work out and walk around and not just be on my lazy ass all day long. So I don't know, I just kind of like the chill, laid back feeling of like IRL streaming, and for people to kind of get a glimpse into like my day-to-day life or something like that. Yeah. And as long as they enjoy it, then I enjoy it.
Yeah, I actually do enjoy those streams as well.
Yeah.
Is there someone that you always like wanted to collab with?
It might be like, this is probably like the answer that everyone probably kind of expected, but also might be a bit of a long shot. But people like what is it called? Food Network famous people. I would love to have a chance to collab with people like Bobby Flay, or like, the people that I used to grow up watching like every day on like Food Network at 10 a.m. in the morning. I used to watch those like all the time. So like Bobby Flay, Gordon Ramsay, like, Guy Fieri, like all these like quintessential like famous chefs that kind of made my childhood or kind of made me inspire or find interest in cooking. I would love to collab with people like that. But obviously, I feel like that might be like an impossible dream. But it would be nice sometime in the future if I can actually pull that off. But yeah, that'll be pretty cool.
One day, you probably will.
One day. But I think in terms of like maybe like VTubers or YouTubers and stuff like that, Hachama will be a cool one.
Oh,
I would love to do like a curse cooking thing with Hachama. That would be really cool. Or even like recently I've been in this like on this bandwagon of like these Japanese like fish YouTubers where they would catch their own fish, or they would procure their fish somehow, and then they will like, their content is they teach you how to dissect all these like different kinds of fish. It could be common ones, it could be super uncommon ones. And there's this guy called Masaru, and he's really cool. He dissected like alligators to frogs to like octopus, and it's really, really crazy. So if I can like visit his factory one day and maybe do like a cooking collab there, I think that'd be really cool too. But that could also be a bit of a long shot.
Holy shit, man. If you weren't in this current profession, what would you be doing by now?
Oh, I'll probably still be in my dead-end office job, the job that my mom wishes for me to have, which is like, work for a boss, make sure that there's health benefits, and that like it's like there's room to grow and all these things. Like my mom believes like stability is the key over anything, and she believes stability comes from working for another person. So like when I first told her about this thing, or like even when I was like kind of like teasing the fact of like, oh, what if I was an entrepreneur, right? Like what if I to start my own business, doing something way out in left field. And she'll be like, no, 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 don't do that. You know, like, how are you supposed to, like, you know, make sure that you have enough to eat the next day? And like, trust me, working for a company is the right thing to do, you know? So if I wasn't doing this, I probably would still just be listening to my mom and just working the job that every Asian person does, you know? Boring stuff.
Yeah, same here with my mom as well.
Right? They're like, I know they mean the best, and they're trying to like help us out and like, you know, hope that we can live the life that they potentially maybe didn't, or they lived the life that they did and then they're like, okay, that life was good and I want that for my child as well. So I totally get it. But honestly, I feel like stability is one thing, but once you can prove to your family that you can earn way more in a lucrative field, and they're like, oh yeah, you should try, daughter. I support now. Like you go make that money. You know? As much as like money always speaks when it comes to my family. They're like, yeah, you're making money, all right, then you can continue and try your best. You know?
Yeah, exactly. When I was doing when I was editing for Zen,
Yeah.
yeah, my mom didn't know I was making money from that until like a few months ago.
Yeah.
That's when I told her, like, you know what, Mom, this is my thing. This is how I'm gonna make money.
Yeah.
And she's supporting me.
Yeah. They just want you to know that, like, they want to know that we're making money. But, you know, ideally, we're happy doing the thing that we're doing to make tons of money. By the end of the day, if you're making tons of money, they're like, yeah, you should. All of a sudden, they're super supportive, you know?
Yeah, exactly. What are some of your favorite outfits?
I have to say that the lunar outfit still is one that is like near and dear to my heart, because that was like the first one where I was like, ooh, it may be a bit daring to wear clothing that kind of represents my culture or my ethnicity, my background. And I don't want people to feel like maybe I'm being a poser or, you know, kind of wearing clothes that they're like, oh, why are you wearing that or something. I don't know. I wasn't sure what I was expecting, but I was just kind of worried that it wasn't going to be received well, especially when you're like, you know, trying to represent a certain like, you know, ethnicity or race or something like that. But people did receive it well, and I was really glad that they did, because I like I said, it is a part of like my blood, my upbringing, where I came from. So it felt really good to be able to wear like quote unquote traditional clothing on my VTuber model, and I wear it loud and proud. And yeah, so I feel like that transition definitely meant a lot to me. But obviously, I just, as of the recording, I just have a new outfit that I've been only wearing for about a week now, a week and a half. So I gotta say, like, the new outfit obviously is like shinier and prettier. So currently, my favorite is obviously the new fishing outfit and the lounge outfit. But I feel like out of all of them so far, the Lunar New Year one had like the most, I guess, impact, or the most sentimental meaning so far.
Yeah, actually, that outfit, that's one of my favorites of all time.
Thank you. I'm glad. I definitely put a lot of work and blood, sweat, and tears into that one, just to make sure the design was exactly what I envisioned. But yeah, my designer Epipe was the one that like really nailed it. I just gave him a few words and he was like this. I'm like, yeah, like this. So I'm lucky to have a good team that can like realize the vision.
Is there a meal that you wanted to remake it that you think you could have done better?
Oh, tons, bro. If you ever watch like my YouTube videos or like streams and stuff, bro, half the time I'm just like, okay, guys, we're gonna make this brand new thing that I've always wanted to try making, but have I ever tried it? No. Have I ate it? No. But do I want to try it right now? Yes. And do I fail it? Yeah, kind of. There's so many where I want to go back and like try to like fix it or like figure out how to like I don't know, tweak it to kind of make it even more perfect. But yeah, there's tons that I fail on stream where it's just like I was just experimenting for shits and giggles, and if it doesn't turn out well, it doesn't turn out well. It's not a huge deal. But I think one that I'm currently actually practicing or working on that I did do a stream on before was pho. But when I did it before, there was like a time limitation of usually like, 3 to 4 hours is the average stream time. Pho usually takes like a day, like 8 hours minimum or something like that. So to like quicken the process, I kind of had it on like quick boiling and also like a pressure cooking, which isn't the ideal process. So basically I just did that for the sake of streaming it. But now when I'm offline now these days, I'm actually trying to do like the 8 hour, 10 hour pho and trying to find like the perfect combination of spices and seasoning to remind me of the pho that I have at home. Because in Japan, pho is really bad here. Like objectively, the taste is good, but it's not pho. It's not the taste of like the pho that I'm used to. It just tastes like a good soup, I guess. It's hard to explain. It's very different. So I'm trying to like make pho myself at home now to kind of like fill that void in my heart. So that's
okay.
kind of one that I'm kind of really trying to hone in on. But yeah, there's tons of dishes in general that I would love to go back and make better because I'm just not a very good chef in general.
What do you mean you're not a good chef?
No, I can cook some things, but I would say in terms of being like a chef, I'm definitely like way far from that. So there's definitely a lot of things that I would like to tweak and be better at for sure.
Yeah, it's more like you're just learning,
Yeah.
like
But that's the fun part. That's what I enjoy. I'm not scared of fucking up. As long as I'm like, okay, well, it tastes bad today, but now I know what to do to make it taste a little bit better the next day. Or it's just more like, oh shit, I did that, even though it's not what I was expected, but I did that. And that's what I find genuinely entertaining and rewarding for me. It's not whether it tastes good, it's whether I at least tried or not. And to have like the motivation to try again next time to make better kind of thing.
yeah, I understand that. Has there been like a weird sort of comic or message that you have that's like, oh, like what the fuck is this? Like stuck into your head.
Off the top of my head, no, I do say this pretty often, but my chat generally is quite well behaved. I know if you're like from like a person on the outside looking in, or if you're potentially a newcomer, you might think my chat is like batshit crazy, but
Yeah.
they're actually really they act within a certain like boundary and they don't go beyond that. So they know what they can say, they know what they can't say. So I feel like when they're poking fun and bantering, that's all good, but I don't think anybody actually says anything out of left field unless they're like, the common ones that VTubers get are sometimes they're like TOS messages or super parasocial ones, but I feel like that's not even like, weird anymore. It's just like, oh, that guy said something dumb, let's ban that guy. But I don't think I ever recall one where I'm just like, wait, what did you just ask me? My chat generally are very, very well behaved, and I'm very thankful for that. So I guess immediately off the top of my head, probably the answer is no.
Yeah,
And I
it's
think that's good. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's bad to say that I don't have any weird comments. I'm content with that.
yeah. No, I get that. That's how it is for like every VTuber. Like, that comment, just used to it, all that crap.
Yeah, or maybe wait, now that you say it like that, maybe it's a bad thing that we're used to like left field comments. Should we be?
Ooh.
Should we?
Ooh.
Should we be like affected somehow? We get it just so much we're numb, but should we be numb? That's a new.
I don't know.
That's
about
a
that.
new box of worms. A new can of worms you shouldn't be opening.
If you could travel like anywhere, like where would you go? Like maybe like learn some new things when it comes to like cooking and everything.
Oh my god, there's so many. Like if this winter view was still in Canada, like without a doubt my answer would have been Japan. Now that
Yeah.
I'm in Japan, I still feel like I have lots to learn while I'm here because I've only been here for 4 months now, so it's not long at all. It feels, it's like, damn, 4 months already, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not long at all. But I feel like outside of Japan as the answer, I would love to go to other Asian countries like the Philippines, Thailand, maybe like Cambodia, like Taiwan, like all these other places that I've seen so much about, like like street food, or how like every VTuber reacts to like food stuff, right? And then you see all these like street vendors and all these different places, like all the like different foods that you've never seen before. So So people think like Singapore, Malaysia, like all these like quintessential Southeast Asian countries or just other Asian countries that I haven't had the privilege of going to yet. I would love to like do streams there, but also to like kind of like taste the different flavors, because in Canada it's multicultural, but it's not that multi. You get like Japanese, Korean, Chinese, but outside of that, it's a bit more rare. And then you're in Japan, it's even more homogenous. So like every flavor is catered towards the Japanese palate. So you don't really get that authentic, super spicy, super sour, super pungent taste anymore. So I would love to like actually go to like, the country of origin and try what real pad thai tastes like, for example, and things like that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I would love to travel more to all these different, maybe Europe can be the next target as well. But now that I'm in Asia, it'll be such a shame not to like travel to other Asian countries because they're just so convenient now. And afterwards, I'll hit up like all the European countries that I've never visited. I've only visited France, so I'm very, very unfamiliar with Europe, and I would love to travel there too.
If you could meet anyone in the world, alive or dead, who would it be?
Can I say Inuyasha?
What was that?
Can I say Inuyasha?
Oh my God, Kiri.
I was like, okay, think long and hard. Okay, we got to give an inspirational answer. But honestly, no matter how hard I thought, the first name that came into my head was Inuyasha, and I was just like, can I meet my husbando? Does that count?
You could have just said like Gordon Ramsay, something like that.
I was like, okay, maybe I'll do like, Julia Child, right? Or like that other guy that recently passed it. What was his name? I forgot, but like the one that's like the food traveler who made a big impact that recently passed. I was like, maybe him, like something really, really like, influential. But all I can think about in that moment was Inuyasha. So I will stick to my guns and say that. Well, you said real or no, what did you say? Alive or dead? And Inuyasha might be dead by now, okay? Because he's like what, 800 years old or something. So that's a fair answer. It counts.
Fine.
I'm a wee bit hard, okay? I can't fight it.
Yeah, aren't we all? If you had to tell your past self something, knowing what you know now, what would you tell them?
I would say don't be a pussy and don't be an overthinker. If you believe that you have a calling for something, just try it. I never really, prior to VTubing, I never really pegged myself as like a creative person. I have always was the one that like follows orders, goes with the flow, never sticks out. And that was comfortable for me, but I always felt like I wanted to do these creative things. Like for example, when I've watched all these other YouTubers or like lifestyle fashion YouTubers, that all the girls back in university used to watch. And I'm like, maybe that, like, I would always think to myself, oh, that looks really cool. Or I watch my favorite like YouTube chefs or whatever. I'm like, okay, maybe I would love to try that. That was always what I said. I would love to try that. Not that I would actually try that. It was like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if I did that? And then I would dismiss that thought immediately. Because I'm just like, okay, don't be silly, Gary. Like, there's no way you would, what are you going to do? Get a camera and set up? Come on, you're being stupid. And then I would just, do the thing that I was like meant to do, which is like work for another person or blah, 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 this quote unquote stable life. But yeah, I guess I was just I never challenged myself or even willed myself to go beyond the point of just going like wishful thinking, I guess. But now that I'm here, I'm just like, damn, I am living the life that I want to live. I cook for a living. I just chit chat and talk to people, like, for a living. And although it's like, it sounds easy, but it's also hard work. But at the same time, it's like, it's a creative outlet. I'm in charge of myself. Like, I am responsible for whether I succeed or fail. And although that sounds really scary, it also sounds really rewarding when you see your hard work get paid off and stuff like that. So I would say just don't be a pussy. And if you feel like that is something that you want to dabble into, then dabble. Although my word of advice is, and this is not like, like, oh, if you love it, you'll have motivation. No, this is like good old fashioned, like Tiger Mom advice. If you really want to dabble in earnest and have discipline when you do it. So don't just be like, oh, I will do it when motivation hits. Motivation is important. Let that hit first, but discipline is the one that's going to carry you through like more and more streams, like stream every single day or like dedicate yourself to every weekend when you have the time or something like that. Motivation will only take you so far. So let inspiration hit, feel like that wave of like, like everything is new and the grass is super green right now, but then allow yourself to like, discipline yourself. Don't be like, oh, I'm lazy this week, I'll do it next week. No, if you really want to dabble seriously and do it every single week or something like that. I know that's the advice that no one wants to hear because that seems like really harsh, but I feel like it's important to say. Because that's how I kind of did it for myself. Like sometimes I would feel lazy, just go like, no, I won't allow myself to feel lazy today. Just stream, even if it's for an hour and not the usual 3, but still do it. And I feel like more often than not, I feel glad that I did it versus if I didn't, I would have regretted not doing the 1 hour stream or something like that.
Basically, you're saying just don't be a pussy and do the hard work you can do.
Yeah, as harsh and as mean as that sounds, I feel like it's important to say. I sound like a tiger mom.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna grow up to be a tiger mom, though. As much as I complain about my mom being a tiger mom, 100%, I feel like if I ever become a mom, I would definitely become a tiger mom just like her. But maybe like a little toned down, but still like up there.
Since, like talking about the chat, you and Zen do have in common when it comes to chat. They're like both chaotic and they like to bully you a lot. What kind of advice would you tell to like new streamers? Like, how would you like handle them?
That's a good question. Because every streamer or VTuber has their own comfort level or boundaries when it comes to what they want to see from chat. I feel like just be firm and straight with them if they do say things or they are like, leaning towards a certain style of chatting that you don't like or you don't prefer, then just either be the streamer that elicits those reactions. So you're like the shepherd that's like herding everybody into one direction. For example, if you don't love people making like lewd comments or whatever, then maybe it'll help if you yourself is not lewd to begin with. Maybe, I don't know if that's a good idea, a good example, but like be the example you want to be for your chat, if that makes sense, and see if that helps first. And if the chat doesn't get it, or if it's like, the chat's been around for a little while, they're kind of stuck in their ways, and then suddenly you feel like you want to pivot and you want to change your branding or something, then maybe you can be like, hey guys, okay, just to let you guys know, this is what we're doing going forwards. Maybe you can respect that, but be firm with it. Make sure your mods are also on the same page so they can like give timeouts or warnings accordingly. And I feel like if chat respects you and they, are not doo-doo heads, more or less, they will respect like your wishes and things like that, and they probably will just abide by like the new rules and stuff. But I think it's hard and scary to kind of go like, no chat, I don't want that, because I feel like a lot of streamers are worried that if you say no to them, chat will just leave because they want to be a certain way, and if you don't allow them to be a certain way, they'll just leave. But honestly, if your chat respects you and you have a good community, you have a strong community, if you really wanted to kind of tweak things or shift things a certain way, I feel like you shouldn't be too worried about that, and they should be able to like kind of agree or like oblige and move along to the new thing. But I definitely think I definitely understand that's very scary. It definitely helps when you're smaller to, as you stream a little bit more and find your style or your niche, then you can kind of quote unquote raise your chat when they're younger, so that when you actually grow, your community grows with you and they understand the style that you prefer. Like when I started out, it was definitely more Coomer chat, and I recall going on stream like before pressing live, go like, I have to like talk to Coomers again, or like I have to find a way to corral the Coomers so they don't make so many like thirsty comments or whatever, like oh mommy step on me, or can you do ada, it was fun for the first 3 days of stream, but when you get that shit every day, it gets really tired. I don't want to do adas, like I don't like necessarily always want to step on you, that's just not my personality. And I only discovered that when I started streaming more, because I wouldn't have known that I I'm not fit for the mommy image if I didn't stream. So that's number one. But then once I figured it out, then I'm just like, then I just stopped the redeems, for example. I
Yeah.
stopped the ara stuff. I just stopped doing it, and I'm just like, guys, I suck at games. This is me. Take it or leave it. And I did this when I was at like 30 to 50 viewers, and then some of them took it, some of them left it. I still remember some of my early viewers when I was like streaming for 20 people. I don't see their names anymore, because maybe they were just like, okay, that's fine. If they don't like it, they don't like it, but I don't want to force them to be here. I also don't want to be forced to look at comments I don't want to look at, So raise them young if possible. But at the end of the day, if you have a strong community and they respect you, then if you do want to change, that shouldn't be a problem for anybody. That was a very, very long-winded answer, but yes.
Yeah, exactly what you said. That's how it is for Zen. I was there like in 2019, since she was barely starting. Basically, what you said is like raising the chat, which she did exactly, like raise the chat.
Yep, it's like your own little baby community, and then they grow and they grow, and then like the what used to be the baby chatters are now like the senpai chatters, and the senpai chatters can tell the new baby chatters like, hey, this is how it is, or like or whatever, come join us, and then kind of like lead them and show them the way. Yeah, which is nice to see.
Exactly. That's what we do usually when it comes to like new people from Zen. We just sound like, hey, don't do this and that, or else you get a timeout and stuff.
Yeah. Although for my chat, my moms will be like, hey, I know you're new and I timed you out. Trust me, no hard feelings. It's just for shits and giggles. It's just like,
exactly.
It's like, I'm sorry I timed you out. You don't deserve that, but that's just what we do. It's like the opposite.
Yeah, I know. It's what they do, like, oh, I'm shrimping for Geary and stuff.
But usually everyone else is just like, oh, sorry, you timed you out. You said something bad. In this case, like, oh, you said something real good. That's why we timed you out. No hard feelings, bro.
I'm just gonna say it out loud right now. You and Zen have one thing in common, and it's, did they get bigger?
Okay, every time, believe me when I say this with my whole chest, pun unintended, okay? But every time I tell my art papa, hey, can you make it smaller? And what I show people is the smaller. Okay, I know it's hard to believe, okay? But I am fighting tooth and nail every single outfit to be like, can it be smaller? Because every time the first version is massive. It goes all the way to like freaking almost touching the belly button or something. And I'm just like, no, please just cinch that up, So yes. It's not intentional, but we're fighting for our lives out here, trying to make it a respectful size.
I see.
It's not our fault that our personalities are so overwhelming, It just spills out sometimes. It can't be contained. So it's a give and take, a compromise.
What advice would you give for upcoming VTubers?
I guess I kind of touched upon this earlier, but find your niche, find what you love to do, or find something that you feel like is special about you, and see if you can like amplify that, because I feel like when I started, there was a lot of VTubers, but compared to now, dear God, the competition is crazy right now. I definitely do not envy, the position of new VTubers now, where they're trying to fight, to like be better or be the top, or like to grow and stuff. Because it's pretty crazy out here. Like when I started, I felt like in comparison, it wasn't that bad to stand out. But try to find something that makes you super happy, or a personality trait or something quirky about you that you can quote unquote market and make that into like a potential brand or something to make yourself unique. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, find the motivation, but also find the discipline to make sure that you put in the hard work, because everybody's advice would be like, oh, stream often, make sure you're always streaming so people can see your name pop up and things like that. And that's very, very true. But just make sure that you have the will to put in the hard work, because it's very easy to be like, oh, life took over and this happened, that happened, you're not having a good day today, and I don't know, your boss yelled at you, so you don't want to. They're all like reasonable excuses, but how many can you make for yourself until you lose that motivation, or that passion? So grab hold of it while you still can and make the most out of it is what I would say. And don't be worried about like having a VTuber model or whatever. I started off as a PNG tuber for like a whole month before my VTuber model was ready. So like especially nowadays, don't even worry if you don't have the huge budget or huge production. Never compare your own like VTuber debut or blah 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 to others. I didn't even have a debut when I had my first VTuber model. I just showed it and I was like, okay, well, I have it now. Here it is. My very, very first debut wasn't until my chef outfit, and I made like a big deal out of that one. That was like almost 6 months, 7 months into streaming. And I just took it that was my pace and I took it at my pace. So don't feel pressured to do all these things beforehand. And also my advice is to stream before you actually debut or like, do anything grandeur with your model. I feel like a lot of streamers feel the pressure to maybe don't stream until they're fully ready to show their model or show something. I used like Streamlabs, like $5 stream kit things where it's just like, the transition, the stinger transition, the little title thing. Like I paid $5 on Streamlabs and I got like a pink one because I thought pink was cute, And I used that to stream in the very beginning. I didn't have my assets until again, like a month afterwards that I started streaming. And it still works out. So as long as you're streaming and you're practicing, don't even think about it as like, I have to make money, I have to reach this, I have to do that. Just treat it, if only 2 people are watching you, at least those people you can maximize and go like, hey, do you like this? Do you like that? What do you guys think of this? And just use it as practice because you have few people right now when it maybe matters a little less and you can still have the freedom to be flexible. Practice, find your style, find your talking speed, find your energy level, find the games you want to play, because it's going to be a bit harder to do that when you have more people, like more eyes on you. So take the advantage of less eyes and be flexible and be adventurous and find the type of stream that you want to stream. Stream lots and stream before your debut, so that you're ready for the debut. So you're not shy, you're not scared, and just have discipline. That's about it.
Ooh, those are pretty facts right there. I'm gonna add into that. I always see this on Twitter. They always make this number one mistake is buying a VTuber model like right away.
Yeah. I feel like there's no pressure to do that. If you have like a general idea of your OC, which is what I had, I just had the little chibi thing made up and I just connected to my Fuki reactive. So at least there's like something on the side they can see when I play games so they know that I'm speaking or blah, blah, blah. But like don't ever feel pressure to be quote unquote a VTuber. Just, you can go no cam, you can do a little chibi. It doesn't even have to be an OC. It could just be any chibi, But while you're still like growing or like just starting out, that's the best time for you to experiment and find your style and find your whatever you're comfortable with before you actually start to pop off. So take advantage. Like it's not shameful to have like fewer viewers or whatever. Use that as the learning process, because that's what I did before I had my first spurt from like 20 to 50. Like when I was like smaller than that, just use it as practice. Just stream lots, practice, find your voice, and then once you do hit like 50 and more, hopefully in the future, then you're ready for that growth.
Like for me, I'm just using a PNG at the at the moment.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like if your people love you and you're entertaining, that shouldn't be an issue, whether it's a PNG or a VTuber model. I feel like that's not very important. It'll be nice to have a VTuber model, but it's not important.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is there a food that you always wanted to make, but just couldn't due to not finding ingredients?
I want to say there's lots, but because I was not prepared for this question, I can't think of any right now, but I'm sure there's lots. There's a lot of like seafoods that in Canada that I can't get freely. So I would say I would love to like potentially, for example, snorkel. I get my own uni. you know. Not that I've never prepared uni, but I would love to like get that for myself, or you know, like farm to table. So like I would go into the ocean and farm my own bluefin tuna, as impossible as I know that is. But you know, like things like that. I want to be able to you know, prepare things that I can like catch myself, or harvest for myself. But yeah, things like bluefin tuna or like fugu, which will be impossible for me to ever prepare myself, because why would I ever have the money for bluefin, and I'm not certified for fugu, you know. But those are definitely some like rare, I guess, ingredients that I would love to like test and get my hands on if possible. But yeah, I'm sure there's tons, but I would say mostly it's probably seafood, because just in Canada, fresh seafood is just so rare. They already come like dead or frozen. So it'd be nice to like handle like live or like super fresh seafood ingredients now that I'm in Japan.
Before we move on to more questions, if you don't mind, I got some tweets of yours. If we could go over them.
Oh no, okay. They're good tweets, right? They're really inspirational, educational, motivational tweets, right?
Surely.
Every single one is like that. Okay, hit me with one. I'm not ready.
All right. You should see it right now.
It's loading for me. Ah, okay. Yes. Okay, so this one was a legitimate oversight on my end, okay? So context was, this is me coming back from TwitchCon EU from France, and I got myself, you know, a tin of some booty hole blast. Okay, wait, no, that's not blowhole, not booty hole, blowhole blast. Okay,
hold on there.
I got myself on some Lily blowhole blast. Okay, and I would not pass up on the opportunity to get some right then and there. So I ran out of space in my luggage, because for the meet and greets and everything, I had a lot of really generous viewers give me a bunch of like gifts and stuff. So I just couldn't like fit it into my already full luggage. So I was like, okay, it's just a drink or whatever. Let me put it in like the cup holder of my backpack, like on my carry-on. And I didn't think anything of it, okay? I was just like, yeah, everyone knows booty hole blast, you know, who doesn't? And then I don't know why I thought that was okay. And then I put it in Oni Bro's bag. I put it in his bag, not even my bag. It was his bag. And then we were going through the TSA. And then I was done. And I was like, where the hell is Oni Bro, right? Like, I see 3 people that was behind us already passed in front of us, and I'm still waiting on the other side for him. And I'm like, this is not right. Because normally, Oni Bro takes a little bit longer because he has camera and laptop, which is understandable. Yeah. But it took way too long. So I was like going around the corner. And they legit brought him to the back of TSA. Like, TSA has like the conveyor belt, but they also have this like makeshift wall thing. And you don't know what's going on behind the wall. So he was behind the wall, because I was like walking to try to find where he was. And then the TSA was like going through every inch of his backpack with the booty hole blast like on the side. And instantly when I saw that, I was like, oh no, I think it's the drinking powder, because it's literally a fine, you know, light blue, like a whitish pale like color thing. And I was like, oh fuck. And then I was like, oh no, I did something terrible. And I just see Oni Bro standing there like a poor like deer in headlights, you know, because what else can he do? Like, we're not bringing anything bad in, but like I can understand the concern. So I went over there and I was like, is everything okay? And I was like, it's just a drink, you know. I was trying to like clear things up. And then they were like, are you sure? And then they had gloves in there. They were like they were using the little like cotton swab thing and swabbing every inch of his backpack. And I was like, oh no, we're gonna get arrested. I swear this is just booty hole blast, but we're gonna get arrested. We're gonna be in jail in France. I was so worried, but thank God, like, you know, they figured out that it was just like a drink or whatever. And I was ready to be like, you know, if they don't allow us like through with it, I was ready to just leave it there. Like I as much as I don't want to part with it, I'm ready to just leave it there. I'm like, I don't want any trouble, you know. But yeah, that was a very turbulent moment for me. It was the blowhole blast almost got me in trouble. Almost got me arrested. Or Onibro arrested, not me. I was good. Onibro almost got arrested.
You know what you could have done? You should have dressed up as a chef. And they would have just left you go by.
Wait, say that I was a chef and that was like a cooking ingredient?
Yeah, like that.
But it was white powder, Razor. It was
No.
Don't worry, that's MSG, sir. That's definitely MSG. Don't worry about it.
No. What I meant to say is that because I saw a video of this guy was dressing up as a chef, and he had a bag of flour.
Uh-huh.
I saw that. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that one. That's what I meant to say. That.
Oh, I saw that one, bro. I don't think I would ever be like brave enough to do something like that. Just to like be shits and giggles and like test the TSA. I don't want that trouble. I am too high anxiety to do something like that. I just show up with powder on my face. I'm like, oh sir, that's just flour. I had a pizza incident before I came here. Don't worry.
Okay, the next tweet.
Okay. Oh. This was because I lost a bet, okay? And this bet had nothing to do with Negs. Negs got a W for no fucking reason. He got a W for free, okay? And I did a, what is it called? A VTuber gamer competition thing, 1v1 versus RPR. And I lost, surprise. Although I did do pretty well the first half, okay? But I kind of choked and I didn't do too well the second half, so I ended up ultimately losing overall. And the punishment was if I don't finish Jump King by a certain given time, I have to get a picture of Negs stepping on me. And guess what? Guess if I beat Jump King. So that's why.
I wonder.
So that's why I got a picture of Negs stepping on me, and Negs didn't do anything, bro. He was just like, he had no idea this was happening. He was just like, oh, sick. I have a picture of me stepping on Gary. This is awesome. You know, he got that that W for free, man. Totally not worth it.
Yeah, I think I saw the stream.
Yeah.
With Negs. I think he was the one that said that, like, get an art.
Oh, well, was it? Oh, he was the one that I thought it was RPR. I don't even remember. I thought RPR was the one.
No, it was Negs.
It was Negs. Oh, that dickhead. This is forever stuck on my Twitter. You know things never go away on the internet. That's gonna stay with me forever. My children's children will see that.
But at least you know how to cut an onion.
True, at least I have that going for myself. Who needs Jump King when I know how to cut an onion and cook for myself? You know, that's the real win right there.
Alrighty, the next tweet.
I need to be more conscious of closing my blinds in Japan. I can't count the number of times I've accidentally flashed a random worker who's... Oh... No one's ever outside my... Oh, okay. So this... So this... I can explain. This was when I was in the temporary place when I just moved to Japan. This isn't in the current place I'm living in.
Okay.
This is like the temporary studio that I was set to by the company. And there was buildings everywhere. Okay, it was like what is it called? Like work buildings and stuff. And in Canada, you know, the buildings are few and far in between. Okay, and generally, even if you leave your blinds open, people can't really like see inside because you're upstairs anyway. Right? People can't really like peek inside or whatever. You're away from like the the floor level and whatever. So generally you don't have to worry too much about it, or just like do your thing and go like, oh shit, let me close the blinds real quick. But it's really like no consequence if you close your blinds or not. But in Japan, the buildings are so close, and every single like floor, there's a person like working in there or doing something in there. So I just like, my mind hasn't like rewired itself to close all the blinds, and I just want to open everything, right? I want natural light in, I want the room to breathe and everything. So I had everything open. Yeah. So I legit was like doing my business. I took a shower, and I came out of my shower, I went into the bedroom about to get changed, and it was like, 10 meters away, that was like an office building right there, and some dude was on the stairs taking a smoke. 90% of the time I look at that stairway, there is nobody there. Okay, 90% of the time, no matter day or night, randomly, if I look out that window for whatever reason, there is no one there. But it just so happens that when I took a shower and I came out to change, there is a dude there. There's no way that I was able to expect that. Okay, so I find it's the smoker's problem. Maybe he should have smoked somewhere else, and didn't get my hopes up. So I definitely flashed a people or two, and then I was like, oh no, and then I would like lean in to close the blinds, and I flashed them even more. So after that, after like 1 or 2 jump scares, I know to like close the blinds before I go into the shower so I don't forget. But yeah, there's definitely been a few times, like even now in my balcony now, because I have like a balcony that has like a wall that goes halfway up. But sometimes I forget that my like adjacent like condo or whatever is higher than where I currently am, so they can technically from up top look down and see me. I've definitely like went outside to like hang up laundry in my undies or something, and I'm like, oh no, good thing there's nobody there, because I would have flashed like the potential neighbors from across the street and be charged with indecency or something. So even now I forget, and then I have to like remind myself to like put some damn pants on when I'm hanging my laundry outside.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, when did you just like before you change, when did you look around of the blinds and stuff to see if nobody's outside?
No, because I don't have a fear of that. Like I used to, in Canada, I live in a very like safe, I guess, like safe neighborhood. It's also more like dispersed neighborhood. It's not super compact and dense with like buildings and stuff. So I literally never, I could literally go about my day all day with the blinds open. Maybe I just live in a very like privileged neighborhood as well. I don't know, but safety wasn't like a huge issue where I was. So I could just go about my day, like whole house, windows completely open, whether I'm showering, whether at night, or just completely butt-ass naked, I never had a fear that people can see, because they can't see, and they probably don't even care. They won't see, but they're just going about their day or whatever. So in Japan, I just didn't like think that was gonna be an issue. So I'm just like, hanging my laundry with just my undies on, or like, or showering and like, taking everything off in front of an unknown smoker who was just there, So it's not my fault. It's not my fault after like living in a one environment for so long to just suddenly change, People of YouTube, please believe me, it's not my fault. Okay, let me know in the comments if it's not my fault, because it's not my fault. It's their fault for smoking then and there.
Yeah, it's their fault.
Yeah. It's their fault for living few stories above me. And why are they looking down? Why? Why don't you just mind your own business and look at yourself? Don't look down at me, okay? Or look across to see me. Just worry about yourself. It's definitely their fault.
Yeah, I think we're done for the tweets for now, but we have just a few more questions, and then we're done.
Okay.
Since you're with Geeks Plus at the moment, so would that mean that you may have a chance to be in the Trash Taste podcast?
That I don't know. I feel like that completely depends on, like the boys and everything, but I feel like realistically, I'm not a very good fit maybe for Trash Taste, because I don't really think I have anything special to offer, because most of their guests are like, unique in their field, or like a leader in their field, or I don't know, just something really cool about them. But I feel like I'm not that cool in general. But I mean, it would be cool. Obviously, if they invited me, I'm not gonna say no. But I feel like that completely depends on the boys and whether it'll be like, a good fit for the show or anything like that. I'm just gonna I'm just let it go with the flow. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm not upset at all. I'm happy where I am.
Who taught you how to cook?
Mostly the Food Network, YouTube, and a bit of my parents. Like both my mom and my dad cook every single day, every single meal. So that was just like the standard growing up. Like going out to eat was like something really special. So my mom always was like, "Oh, if you don't learn these dishes, then it like your future generations will never have a chance to experience these like traditional Asian dishes or whatever." So some of them I did definitely learn from my parents, but a lot of the times it's just me experimenting with new things like baking and stuff. I learned all my baking and all these like dishes that are typically not like Chinese, for example, all from YouTube, because I just love watching YouTube cooking videos. I could just watch that shit for hours, and it's not even like I have trouble multitasking. I have to focus on one thing at a time. I don't know how people can watch like 5 streams at the same time, all audio on. I cannot do that. It has to be one at a time, and I'm focused. And I would sit there and watch YouTube for hours of these like baking ASMR, but they're still like educational, so I would still make notes and stuff like that, or I would make notes of like flavor combinations or whatever. I could watch that shit for hours or forever. So definitely a lot of YouTube and stuff like that. But I feel like as long as you have the curiosity to do so, you can learn from anywhere. Unfortunately, I didn't really learn too much from like cooking books and stuff because I didn't really buy too many books in general. I'm not much of like a reader. I'm more of a visual learner, so I like to watch like shows and try to replicate things like that. But mostly just YouTube and TV, and then a little bit from my parents. Mostly for the Asian stuff is from my family.
Nice. That's how I learned from editing. Basically, just watching YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
Even though I went to college just to learn some films.
Yeah, YouTube is the best university. It gives you the best practical information, and you can also like watch at your own pace. If you're a fast learner, you can watch it at 2x speed. If you're like me and like freaking need like 4 extra days just to remember one small concept, you can slow that shit down and repeat it every 5 minutes to make sure you really understand it. But yeah, YouTube was a lifesaver for university.
What would be the most difficult part of cooking?
Cooking in general or cooking for stream?
Just in general.
Nothing. Nothing is too difficult as long as you can like get the ingredients or the equipment that you'll need. A lot of limitation is obviously ingredients. Like for example, if you're making, I don't know, a Mexican dish, I've experienced this firsthand. But in Canada, no matter how multicultural, if you don't live in certain pockets, it's just really, really hard for you to get really niche or authentic ingredients. Like you can get some peppers and things like that, but if you're really looking for that really specific spice, it's really hard to get your hands on it. And sometimes making that dish, you just need that spice. It's going to be a make or break, And a lot of times that could be a limitation, or like a special like equipment, like maybe you need a tagine for something, and where are you going to get a tagine on a Sunday afternoon, So you might have to know specifically where to get that. But outside of those things, I feel like nothing really, as long as you have the time and the curiosity to try it. I feel like for the most part, I was able to at least try to make most of the dishes that I was curious of. Whether they turn out good or not is a different question. But yeah, I feel like as long as I can get the ingredient, generally nothing is too complicated. Just try your best and set some time aside. I feel like if you have time to play games and that's your hobby, you can set aside time to cook if cooking is your hobby. That's how I don't play games, but I spend hours like trying out new ingredients or new recipes, and that's what I find fun. So I feel like there's no real limitation for me.
Favorite meal that you have made?
Favorite meal. I think my Korean fried chicken turned out way better than I expected. I was expecting to be like good because that was my first time trying a different kind of batter where excuse me, it won't get soggy when you put in like the spicy sweet sauce. But I was kind of expecting it to be like, okay, after, 10 minutes, after the YouTube intro and I finish bantering with chat, for sure the outer crispy crust will be like soft and like moist by then. But it was still crunchy. It was like basically like hard. It did not get affected by the sauce whatsoever, and it was really, really yummy as well. And Onibro also gave me a really good rating on that one. So I felt like that one was definitely one I was really proud of and really happy with the outcome. But I think one that I was just really proud of in general, because I was like, yo, I did that, was probably like the ramen one, the overnight ramen that I made for the very, very first like subathon that I did. I just kept the soup boiling overnight. The chashu was really good. Onibro really loved the chashu as well. But like to make ramen in general is very difficult, especially if it's like tonkotsu ramen. So I was like, yeah, I tried it. Is it like restaurant level? Hell no. But was it pretty good for a first attempt at home? I was actually pretty proud of myself for that.
Nice. Yeah, when I was editing that Korean fried chicken stream, you fucking made me hungry for that. I was like, fuck, Gary, why would you make me hungry?
I was like, oh shit, wait, this is actually good. I should write this down, like when I make this for myself, like more often. I was like, damn, I think I popped off on that one.
What's your go-to meal to make quickly?
If this was back in Canada, probably something like mapo tofu or some kind of like noodle soup dish or something, because that's just easy and a familiar flavor for me. But now that I'm in Japan, it's probably just gonna be like, I don't know, natto over rice. That's like really, really easy. Or I can just get some soba noodles with like the pre-made like soba dipping sauce, and I can just make some cold like zaru soba. That's also really easy. I feel like easy meals in Japan is very different from easy meals in Canada. Easy meals in Canada, you still have to cook something more or less. In Japan, everything is already like there for you to do. So as long as you have rice in the fridge, or just make fresh rice, or just buy like the pre-made rice that you pop in the microwave, just put some natto on there, like a raw egg. You don't even have to cook your fucking egg in Japan. Just the raw egg, some soy sauce. Like all these sauces are pre-made for you. It's so easy to just slap anything together in Japan. Like it's criminally easy. But yeah, I think nowadays it's just like things over rice is what I eat most often for like for a fast meal or like a snack.
What's your proudest moment when it comes to cooking? Like, for example, a meal that you thought you couldn't make, but you were able to make.
I would say probably just that. Like usually what makes me feel the most rewarded, or like that huge dopamine spike, is when I make something I never tried making, and I put in all that effort to be really careful with the steps and try to execute it, and the finished result is exactly what I was expecting, if not better. So things like making cheese for the first, I feel like the calzone in general for that episode, the calzone itself was like mid, it's whatever. Okay, I feel like the dough could have been thinner, blah, blah, blah. But the cheese was where I was like the most excited for, because I literally saw that in passing on TikTok. I decided to save the recipe, and I'm like, you know what, this will be a fun one to fuck up on stream. Everyone's gonna have a good laugh, and I'll have a learning experience for the next time. But I actually pulled it off, and I was like, oh my god, did I just make mozzarella at home all by myself? So it's mostly like these kind of things where I find new ingredients on the internet or whatever, and I'm like, let's try that, and it actually turns out really good. Things like the Korean fried chicken as well, like I found that recipe in passing, and I'm like, yeah, let's try that, and I was like, oh my god, it's actually really, really good. So it definitely makes me feel proud when I can like execute it, and chat's like, whoa, she actually did it, she actually didn't fail, whoa, she can cook for real, When I exceed expectation is when I feel proudest, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Any advice that you have to those that are learning to cook?
I would say don't be scared, and try out simple things at first. It's very important to get basics down. So understanding how your stove works, and how long it takes water to boil on your particular stove. It sounds really mundane and really stupid, but that's actually quite important to know how long your stove takes to heat up oil in water, because that will because that could be the make or break between a really well-made egg or pasta, or if you have the time to even saute something, because if it takes forever to heat it up, then your timing and your sense of time for like different things could also be altered. So understand how your stove works, basic things like knife work, be comfortable ish with a knife and stuff like that, so you don't cut yourself. Basics on how to like dice an onion and things like that. But I would say in general, start off small. Don't be scared to fail, because there's no way no one fails. Like, even that's why I make a point on streams that I sometimes fail like organically, and it's not a big deal. Just understand for the next time how to do better, So don't feel embarrassed if things turn out wrong, if you overburnt and you over fried an egg, or I don't know, your rice turned out too mushy or too burnt in my case, like it's all just experience, or you're collecting the EXP for next time, so you can level up for next time, but start out with small things to kind of build that confidence and build that kind of like, oh, I did that. So you feel rewarded every time you cook. If you just go right off the bat into like making a steak and you never touched a knife or like a cutting board your whole life, maybe you're going to fuck up that steak, and maybe that's really going to fuck with your motivation to try again next time. So try little things, some fried rice, or I don't know, just boiling an egg or something simple like that. Once you're like, oh shit, that actually turned out well, then that will encourage you to try different things or harder things as you go on. But don't be scared to fuck up, and just start small and learn basics. I think is the best advice I can give for a beginner.
Nice. Basically trial and errors.
Yeah.
Speaking of the New Year's outfit, I have heard this a lot, but what's the F1 toggle button?
The F1 was an accident, okay? It was, I don't know why it was even there, but Twinny was like, oh, well, it's there. Let's make it a toggle, okay? F1 is literally, it's literally nothing, okay? Everyone is like so curious about it. It's nothing. It's just a toggle to take my outside clothes off, okay? And then it shows my lingerie on the inside. Why do I have lingerie? I don't know. I didn't ask for that, okay? But there is lingerie. So like the F1 toggle kind of just like takes away the outside clothing and it shows the inside, okay? But I would never show the whole thing on stream because I don't want to get kicked out of Twitch. But that's what the F1 toggle is, okay? It's really nothing, okay? If you really think about it, I'm sure you guys seen ladies in underwear before. It's nothing new. It's nothing unheard of. It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Interesting. Taking notes on that. How did you get the nickname Lola Giri?
Oh, that's solely just from Numi, bro. I think it was just Numi that started it. Everyone like calls me like Granny Geary or like Grandma or whatever, just because I'm old presenting, but I'm not old at all, okay? I'm 21 years old. I'm actually super young and super spry. I don't know why people think that, but I think Numi was the one that started calling me Lola Geary, or just Lola, and then it kind of stuck. So now I'm Lola Geary now.
That sucks.
It can be endearing if you think about it, right, Razor? Right? It's endearing, right? She meets well, right? Right?
Maybe.
It's a cute little nickname, right?
Surely.
Oh, no.
Since you've been taking classes on singing, would we see like any cover or original songs in the future?
That would be cool. I am definitely practicing right now, but I don't think I'm quite ready yet for like a cover. I feel like I want to be much better than where I am now. Hopefully, maybe sometime late next year, realistically, for it to be like ready and published and produced and whatever. I already have a song in mind, but I don't want to say it right now because I'm scared that if I don't reach it, that's gonna be on the internet. People are gonna like hold me accountable for not reaching my goal, But I already do have, it's an English song though, it's not a Japanese song, it is an English song, but I do have one in mind, and I think it's a very nice one that I feel that will that I kind of resonate with. So yeah, if I can pull that off, I would love to. There's definitely a lot of high notes in that song, and my natural range is not that high. So me and my instructor is working towards getting me to sing in those higher registers in like my natural voice. So that's definitely something that I need to like work towards. So once I'm there, hopefully by late next year, I can maybe have a cover ready or something. That would be nice.
Nice. Hopefully I can hear that next year.
Yeah.
Since you know a few languages, I was wondering if you could teach me a phrase.
Oh, and which language do you want to know?
Ooh, let's try Japan.
Japanese?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so when you see a nice girl on the street, okay, you want to compliment them on their mangoes, okay? Don't worry, in Japan, in Japanese, mango is a very endearing term to say that you think a girl is cute, okay? So when you're like, oh, anata no mango kawaii ne, you know, that then every girl will be blushing and going tee-hee-hee and running into your arms, okay? Trust me. You always want to compliment their mangoes. It's like a slang for like, you're really adorable. Yeah. And then if you want to go next level, you can go like, anata no mango tabe kuremasen ka? You know, mango tabe kuremasen ka? Just like, can I taste your mango? Because you think they're so sweet. You wanna get a taste of their mango. Yeah, you can say their mango is cute or their mango tastes good. Yeah, that'll definitely woo all the girls. Yeah, you can give it a try.
So if I say that in the streets, I won't get slapped or anything.
No,
right?
definitely not. They'll be like, oh my god, what a cutie! Thank you for complimenting me. You know, every girl will be blushing and smiling ear to ear if they get compliments like that on the street, for sure.
Okay, so if I ask my friend that knows Japanese, if I tell him that right now, that doesn't mean
not at all.
You know.
I don't know what you're talking about, honestly. I don't even know what it could possibly mean because we're just talking about their mangoes. And obviously everyone knows that mango is a really juicy and sweet fruit, okay? It is a treasure from the tropical areas, you know? I love mangoes personally. I could devour one like in the speed of sound, okay? It's delicious. So anybody would feel honored to be called a mango and compliment their mango.
So if I say that, would you give me a raise?
I want proof. I want physical video, audio proof.
You gotta fly me out to Japan.
Oh, you want to say it in Japan, not to your friend that speaks Japanese. You want to do it in Japan.
Exactly, in Japan.
All right, if you do that in Kabukicho, I owe you dinner.
Deal. You heard it here.
Guys, he's gonna get fucking deported, bro. He's gonna come back all battered, blue and black, bro. And he's gonna come back with a black eye. I mean, you're gonna do amazing.
Oh.
That dinner is calling your name, Razor. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. So I'm gonna be out of the cave for once.
Yep. I will buy you dinner if you say that in the middle of Kabukicho.
Okay.
It'll be worth it. One day out of your dungeon cell for one free dinner, and you get to hit on a hot Japanese girl. Worth it, right?
If you say so, Gary. If you say so. Unlike Zen.
Right.
Yeah, unlike Zen, she just gives me rocks for payments.
Honestly, you should be glad that you get rocks, bro. Everyone else in my dungeon gets nothing. This is just a special circumstance that you get a free dinner, okay? Most people, you know this, okay? Most people in my dungeon, they get nothing. They don't even have rocks to play with. They just have each other to play with.
Bro, I would be lucky if I even get some sticks as a bonus.
You're making us sound like Zen's Dungeon and Onimar Dungeon is like the worst place to be. It's like it's terrible living condition, terrible working condition. We're barely hanging on by a thread. Mentally, we're already dead. That's not the case, right? That's not the case at all. Definitely not.
Sure.
Definitely
not. Sure thing, Gary. Sure thing. How was your modeling like from your merch since you've been doing that lately on Twitter?
My modeling?
Yeah, like photos and stuff.
Oh, that was my only modeling experience. It was definitely I was a little shy because I don't know how to model. I don't know how to pose myself. So I was definitely depending on Luke, the photographer, a lot to give me direction. But I feel like generally it was really fun. But I don't know if I'll do modeling that often. Like I definitely have new respect for models because they have to have their full face beat, you know, like makeup to the nines, and it's like no matter if it's really hot or really cold, you got to show off like the clothes that you're modeling or whatever. Like it was 35 degrees that day, full sun, and I'm out there wearing like my pom-pom hoodie sweater, you know, because I had to showcase it, and I was like sweating buckets. And I can imagine some model like in the dead of winter trying to wear like a freaking t-shirt or something, you know. So I definitely don't know if I'll like model too often outside of probably like merch if I need to, but I don't know. It's fun once in a while, but I definitely don't think I'll like do it too often. I feel like just like the candid selfie once in a while is more my pace.
Yeah, understandable.
But it was definitely fun. It definitely helps when you know the photographer and like they can be more in charge, so they can tell you what to do. But yeah, for me to like direct it myself, no way I can do that.
I know that like I believe it was last year that you did some cosplays.
Yeah.
In the future, do you think you'll probably go back to it?
I'll probably cosplay here and there a little bit more. I definitely have some plans for cosplay that I won't say right now, but I have some cool things planned for the immediate future for some cosplay stuff. But I would love to do some more cosplays here and there, but I don't think I'll ever turn into like a cosplayer, because the same sentiment is with like modeling as well. Like for cosplaying, rain or shine, you gotta like commit to the bit and wear the cosplay full face of makeup, you know. And for me, like I have to wear a mask as well, or not. I don't know, not that I have to, but I would prefer to wear like a face mask and stuff as well. So there's that extra level of maybe potential like discomfort, or to kind of like add on to the cosplay when usually cosplays probably won't have a mask or something like that. So I want to do more, but I don't think I'll ever like dedicate myself to like crazy like or common or frequent cosplay photos. But it's fun once in a while.
Oh, okay. I see. You're just gonna do it like mostly like for fun and stuff.
Yeah. Just a little dabbling and tinkering here and there. But I do have some concrete cosplay plans for the near future.
Cool. You could blame Zen on this, but I believe you said hamburger sucks.
Hot dogs are the way to go, okay? I am a sausage girl through and through. Hamburgers are all right, okay? They're fine. Sometimes they're okay. But if you're gonna give me a sausage or like a hot dog versus a hamburger, I would always 100% choose the hot dog. I just feel like hot dogs taste better. I just feel like sausages are more fun to eat and more delicious. And I just feel like sausages are just superior in general over a patty.
Are you sure you just didn't have a good hamburger?
No, I've had expensive hamburgers that were like, you know, $20 or whatever. Yeah, it's good, but I have to pay $20 to get a good versus like a $4 like hot dog stand where like sausages are like snappy and juicy and meaty, and with like those like fake ass bacon bits that taste oh so good. You know, I can load that shit up with all these different condiments. It just always hits, okay, for $4. It's delicious.
You know, you just could have done some like barbecue and stuff for hamburgers.
No, I can. I know I can. We usually for like barbecues and stuff, we do a bit of both, but I always choose a sausage. I just feel like hot dogs are just way superior in taste and texture and everything. Maybe just because I like to eat like a long cylindrical thing versus like a flat circle thing. I don't know, just something about a hot dog. It's just fun to eat and I just like the taste of it.
Okay. I see. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully still doing what I'm doing. I definitely I don't see myself falling out of love of VTubing and stuff in like the immediate future, or even like 5 years from now. So hopefully I'm still streaming, but I definitely hope that in 5 years time I've done really cool projects, maybe some really big projects or Twitch rivals or some kind of like huge fundraiser or something like that. Maybe if I can, have some more immersive, I don't know, cooking stuff going on, like even to the next level, even more immersive than I have it now. I think that would be really awesome as well. But a lot of hopes and dreams I have for myself, I'm actually currently working on. So I don't want to say too much about it because it's still kind of like, secret project or whatever. But hopefully in 5 years time, whatever I'm working on now has become like commonplace, or things that I can do more consistently by myself or with friends or whatever. But definitely, hopefully by 5 years, I would have done at least like 3 or 4 big major events that I would have hosted, or something like that. Something out of the box for VTubers, But I'm working on it.
Nice. Can't wait to see you in the future then.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you, Gary, for being part of this.
Thank you for having. These are really good questions. I definitely was not prepared for how thought-provoking they were gonna be. I was like, oh man, I gotta sit down and think for a second,
Thank you guys for watching this episode. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And also leave a comment to see who I should interview next. Until next time, adios, muchachos.
Bye, everybody. Bye.